I'm just here to say that you don't need that closure talk. You don't need that one more conversation on that need to know what's going on in that person's life that left you, or y'all are no longer in contact. I think we often feel like we need to fill the void with the person that left because we wasn't ready for the relationship to end, or we wasn't ready for that situation to end. And we always feel like we need to know what's going on. We need to have that last conversation with that person to feel like we're going to be okay. But the trick is you're going to always be okay, right? The closure was them leaving. The closure was them not wanting to have the conversation to fix the problems in the situation to keep it going, right? The closure was them not wanting to make changes, or y'all coming to some type of compromise to improve the relationship or improve you guys' situation. And I'm saying all this like I'm a pro at it, and I understand I'm not, because it took me a long time to understand that in many situations, people are going to do what they want to do. And a lot of times they're doing things in a selfish desire, or not a selfish desire, but just living their life, and they don't know how to communicate without wanting to feel like a bad person, right? A lot of people do things because they don't want to feel like a bad person. So you can see why they kind of lead you on in like the last conversation, or say things just happen for a reason, or I'm not thinking about that, because then if they think about it, they're thought of and they feel that they made a mistake, or they are doing a bad thing, and they don't want to be thought of as doing a bad thing, right? And so in that time when a lot of things haven't been said, it has been said. They cutting grass, man. I'm outside just having a good time. But what I want you to understand in this whole process is that this thing,
I'm trying to be cool, but goddamn.
what I want you to learn in this whole process, that actions is more important than the actual conversation. And what I mean by that is, if you think about the last month or the last 2 months of that thing dwindling out, you can see a lot of things not being said and a lot of actions not being taken. And so when you think it's your fault and you didn't do enough, think about that you were willing to fix it. Think about that you were willing to try your best to make this thing work, and the other person wasn't. So it really wasn't anything you could have done, or anything that could have been said or done, because the other person wasn't willing to do it. And you can't carry on a relationship with another person not wanting to change or wanting to take action to improve it. And so when you're thinking about that last conversation that you wish you had, that last thing that you wish you should have did, that thing that you should have said before, just know it doesn't really matter, because that person was going to leave regardless if you did all those things anyway. If you was a perfect person, you could be the most perfect, best, amazing person to a person. It doesn't matter. If they don't see it happening, like if they don't see it for themselves, they're never going to see it. And that's the reason why you should leave, because then you'll understand that a person, when you meet the right person, they're going to see all the things you do for them. And I'm not saying you have things that you don't need to work on. There are things you're going to need to work on in this process.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Sorry, I had to come back inside and really finish what I want to say, because it was too noisy out there and I really want to get this out. But one thing that I want to harp on in this moment and in this situation is this. When somebody breaks up with you and cheats on you, and you have to go and improve yourself, knowing it's easy to say that person cheated and that's it. That person left, I don't need to work on things. What I am saying to you is that you have to work on things. You have to heal yourself. You have to look at it objectively and figure out what things I could have done better in that relationship, so I can be better for my next relationship, where that might stand the test of time. And the things you do in between that last relationship and that next relationship is going to be, one, who you're going to pick, and like who you're going to pick to be in the next relationship with, and two, how you're going to treat that person. Are you going to be ready for that person, etc.? That's how I think sometimes we miss out on people that should have been in our lives forever, right? I think that's how we miss on opportunities, not being ready mentally to take on a task or taking on an amazing person. Or we say these things like, which I 100% don't believe, but it's this video for another day, that right person, wrong time thing. I think that's BS. And I have another video about that. But I think when you're in that process between relationships, it's very apparent that you heal the wounds that the last person left, that you healed the wounds that the last person left. And the reason why I'm saying that is because regardless if it's your fault or not, you played a role in a relationship and it left scars, it left injuries that you need to take care of, and you need to improve and become a better version of yourself. Or not really a better version, a person that's healed from the madness and the stress and all that. And when that happens, and once you do that, and you will be ready for the next relationship, you're not gonna mess up new possible better relationships. I think a lot of times we get married to people that didn't want to be engaged to us in the first place. And as we get to that point, I just want to really harp on the idea that we are better than we think we are, like I always say in all my videos, but we also got to realize that closure does not exist. It doesn't. It is something to keep us attached to the person that left us, right? It highlights the insecurities. It highlights that we want to be attached to people that don't want to be with us. And why would you want to be with somebody that don't want to be with you? You're amazing by yourself. You don't need that person to explain that they were wrong. They're not going to say anything of value to you that you want to be said. You want to fix the relationship. And that's what you want to do. And that's okay to want to fix the relationship. They don't. Right? It's okay to cry and feel hurt because you feel like you need it because you want the pain to stop. But it's not going to stop. And the pain doesn't last. And you're stronger than that, I promise you. And I just want to say that.